Being vocal, I learned this skill to be vocal is something that I can say I've trained myself. I would say to a great extent I've trained myself to, how do I say it?
Hi, welcome to my channel again. This is Ada's Corner. How are you all doing? Don't worry, I'm not doing any gossip today. No gossip, nothing at all. I'm not telling you anything about the latest gist and gossip in town.
Are you sure we're not gossiping today?
No, we are not gossiping. I know. We're not gossiping. Yeah, guys, welcome to my channel. It's Ada's Corner. I've got two lovely, lovely, gorgeous ladies.
Yeah.
From Manchester.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, so this is Ngozi from Ngozi's World. I'm going to leave a link down below. Don't worry, something is going to pop up now. You'll see a link. Please, she just started. Support my sister.
Support your
She's really great.
Yay! Love for the girl.
And then I got Fola.
Yeah, follow Brown O.
Yes.
From Media 1206.
Yeah, Media 1206. She's been in the white history for a long time, but she took a break. Now she's back. She's back. And fully better now. She's back in my house. I've got two gorgeous lady here. And they all come to meet me, They come to meet me. So kind of
supposed to be eating. When I think of Ada's Corner, I think of lovely food.
Seriously, And all the gossips.
Yes. I remember your pancake. Where was the pancake you made?
Super yummy. You need to test it. If I don't get those recipes and try it.
Okay, so what have you got for it?
Yes, so guys, enough of all the ramblings and ramblings. Let's move straight to the. Are you okay now?
Yeah. So I'll do it. Why need this one? I don't need it.
What?
So guys, are we started?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, now we're here.
So guys, we're starting now with Summer Akku's story. So part 1.
Meeting the guy.
Meeting the guy,
Yes, the very Yoruba guy.
The Yoruba guy. Summer met the guy. Dashing, tall, dark and handsome guy.
Like typical Yoruba demon.
Typical Yoruba. You know the typical Yoruba.
Handsome dude.
Yes. Summer was living in Benin. Came to Lagos to hustler. You know, Lagos is a hustling city. Met this guy, and she said in her life since she was born, she has never seen a guy that
drop dead. I think she was just carried away,
by his
looks, his handsomeness, and everything.
No, I don't think so. I think they both love each other. There was love.
The first,
the girl too. She must be very pretty. If she past 20 years, she's still looking like
21.
21 years ago, she's still looking like this. So she could be close to 40 thereabouts. So for her to look this pretty, I wonder what she would have looked when she was like
more than princess.
21. So she said everybody was coming to look at her.
Because when she came, she was like, come and see Oyibo Pepe and all that, because Summer is very fair. Like it's typical, you would think Summer is a mixed race when you see her. So she was equally pretty. The guy she met, very handsome guy. She's never seen a guy as handsome as that. So what I'm looking at is, in this type of context, is Summer just met this guy, very good looking. What do you think about looks when it comes to relationship, guys?
Well, to me, I don't think it's all about look, really, because someone might look very handsome, or say the woman very beautiful, but character-wise, and if the person is what they call like mama's boy, it's going to be quite difficult when there is issue in the family. So I don't think we should be looking at looks as well. I know it's part of the criteria according to girls. You must be handsome, tall, and that, but sometimes we have to look beyond look. We have to look beyond look as well. Looks.
Yeah, looks is important. Somebody has to look good. Come on, girl is a pretty girl.
Oh no, the good one that it doesn't end up well. What happens then?
To be honest,
it has to be both words.
It has to have that element of attraction. You have to be attracted, to somebody.
Yeah, when I said, I'm not talking about ugly guy. Definitely, a guy needs to be, you know.
So what makes a
I
guy
really don't
attractive?
No, what I'm talking about is some people don't look beyond, you know, the guy handsomeness, the guy looks and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that girls should go for ugly guys because the guy is that what Summer, you know, is trying to explain to us. But what I'm trying to say is that even if you're looking at looks in a guy, you need to look beyond that as well and see if this will work for you and the person. Because like Summer said in her video, that her YouTube channel, that you know she had issues with the guy's parents and the guy wasn't really supporting. I think that's not really good when it comes to relationship.
Okay, so when you are meeting a guy, what you need to consider, according to what NJ is saying, so you consider the character of the person first. Yeah, but I think for me, the first thing is the appearance. You know, there's somebody you will see and you have a good feeling about that person, whether they are handsome or not, but you will see a beauty that is kind of from the inside of that person. And you just know that the person is good, you know. But then sometimes that beauty has to come from the physical beauty. It could be just that the person is very neat and all that, look clean and all that. That will make you look beautiful, handsome, whatever. If you look dirty, sometimes your dirtiness is from, if it's from inside, it shows from the outside. You just know that this person is not for me. So that guy looked clean enough for me.
I totally agree. So elements of look, what I think it shouldn't be like the major thing when it comes to having a relationship or having to fall in love or having elements of look is important. You've got to be attracted to that person. But that should not be your main focus. So Summer met the guy was attractive. They got together. So let's think. So the next thing, Summer says, I saw that handsome guy, and the next thing, they fell in love, started going out, and the guy had a history of a baby mama. Yes, he had a history of a baby mama. He had a baby mama. What do you think about the baby mama issue when it comes to relationship?
For me, I don't want
looking at the past of a guy.
The issue of baby mama is something I don't want to deal with in a relationship because you never get over it. You never get out of it. As long as there's a baby involved another woman,
of course.
Oh, the woman will milk the situation.
Exactly.
I agree with you for that. Baby mama issue is really complicated, really, because when it comes to a guy getting married or marrying a girl, not telling the guy that this is what he's done or he's got a baby mama is really bad. Even to just put everything in one context. Baby mamas, I'm really sorry to say this, Elia, baby mamas, I don't think it's a good thing for any woman really to go into, because once this is done, the damage is done. The damage is done really, because definitely once a cheat will always be a cheat. That's my own take.
Having said that, for some people with the history of baby mama, there is a story behind it. Like his own story. I do remember the parents wanted them to get married.
And he didn't want to.
He didn't want to.
Yes, that's true. So he wanted the parents of the guy wanted him and the baby mama to get married, but they didn't want to, because I'm not sure it was. I think it was. I mean, I don't know if it was one night stand. So maybe they just met, blah blah blah. They did the thing.
But that's what I don't like about some men.
So maybe a cheat is always a cheat.
Maybe they met and they did the one night quickie, and before you know it, she got pregnant. He wasn't that into her, and the next thing, they want to push the girl to marry him, but he didn't want to marry her. So the guy definitely had a history and the history of baby mama. So if I have a guy if I was in a relationship and a guy has a baby mama, obviously that's a red flag for me. It's a red flag. It's a no for me.
I'm just thinking, why would the parents want him to marry his baby's mama?
I think I get where the parents were coming from. From the old stories, like the parents are very strict people. Like, you put yourself into this, you must face the consequences.
Of course.
How would you go and impregnate a girl and just want to dump her that you don't love her? Why did you sleep with her in the first place?
Of course. Yeah, exactly.
I get you for like
exactly. So you're making sense. History of baby mama. Check his history properly. If you feel that this is something you can deal with, because the baby mama issue will definitely always come up. It will haunt you in the next 20 years, in the next 50 years. So a guy has baby mama in the first place. Don't even think about it. Unless you are willing. I'm going to give a story of Davido. Davido has different baby mamas with he has different. It's like I call him father of all nations. So Davido has different baby mamas from different girls. So before Chioma and Davido got engaged, obviously she knows what she has bargained.
But all these baby mamas
about
were they before he met Chioma?
Yes, of course. So for Chioma to get involved in that kind of relationship, she should get ready because he would definitely. Did you see the one where Davido went? He went with his other baby mama. They went to.
Well, that's
they went to Ghana. And he was engaged to Chioma. Yeah, well, he has a right. He has a right to still go out, you know, with his baby mama. Even though, listen, even though they may not be having anything together, but because of that child, because of that
child,
so
not go on holiday.
No.
I agree with you, right? He needs to be responsible for that child, but not going out with the baby mama to a different country while you're engaged to somebody else. It doesn't really make sense to me.
The baby mama was there. So the reason is she was trying to go. I think there was a clothes exhibition. She does clothing and all that. So rather than her going, and Davido was going to Ghana for his shows and everything. So he just thought, oh, I'm going to give her a lift.
That doesn't make sense.
I
still do not agree with that.
He said, let me give her a lift on a private jet. Let us go on a private jet. So from private jet, you don't know, maybe something would have, from there.
That's what I'm saying.
So that is what I'm telling you guys. If you're in a relationship, a guy has a baby mama, you have to
think twice.
Have you heard of the Okafor's law?
No.
You never heard of Okafor's law. So once you have dated a girl or slept with a girl, you will continue to
stay.
Exactly. So the next lesson we've learned, we've talked about the history of baby mama, the guy having a baby mama, but Summer didn't bother. She didn't really, because she was so overclouded in love. She didn't want to think and looks as well. She felt she met at night in the shining armor, and then the next minute she decided to take the guy to her parents. Yeah. So when the guy went to her parents' place, they didn't accept him, and that was on a tribal level. They were like, he's a Yoruba guy, and she's a Igbo. And in the African culture, let me tell you guys, Igbo people, some of them might be racist because most times
it's not just Igbo.
It's everywhere. It's
Igbo as well. Igbo people like to marry their fellow Igbos. They like to do it.
They have a reason.
Okay, what's the reason?
Well, from my own understanding, I'll give myself an example. I remember when I was growing up, my dad was saying, make sure you marry from your hometown, Uguta. Make sure you marry from Uguta. At the end of the day, my hometown. Even I think that's a trending thing those days, really, because I think what they talk about, right? If you marry from your hometown, there is a possibility that if there is issue, resolve it within the town. But then I had to listen to my dad, and I got married to somebody from my hometown. But I think I saw an article on YouTube. Was it last week? A guy was saying that. I think the guy, I can't remember the guy's name, was talking about that the importance of marrying from your own town, talking about Igbo marrying the Igbos, that it is easy to resolve issues, just like my dad said,
Okay.
So there are a lot of comments about it, negative and positive comments.
So looking at Ngozi, she's saying that some of them have their own advantage and some of them have their own disadvantage. But let's say in general, culture, just like there's racism in the Western world, there's also racism back in Nigeria.
No, I'll just say something. The human nature is racist nature.
Of course.
But if we are from the same village, then we'll not narrow it down to families. If we're the same family, we'll not narrow it down to individuals. Human nature.
One thing I also notice, even within your town, there's racism.
That's what I'm saying.
Because this family says, I don't go to that family to marry. This family is this, that family is that.
Even in your family, siblings. It becomes, oh, I love this child more, I love that child more, and the child wants me, it's me, myself, and I.
In all aspects, in all facets of our lives, there's racism. She took this guy, went to the parents never accepted him because he was Yoruba. Summer did all she could to get both families involved. The guy's family did not even want to see her at all.
And that's not at all.
That's a sign. That's a sign. Did not want to see her. because they said it's Omo Igbo, Omo Igbo, Omo Igbo.
But let me tell you something. I am Folashade Brown. My mother is Igbo, my father is Yoruba, and they had a good marriage.
You see?
But the thing that got me with that, in fact, when I read her story, when she was talking, I listened to her, I was so disappointed with that Yoruba family. To be honest, it didn't speak well of any family at all. They were so determined not to give that boy a chance.
Yeah.
At all.
Exactly.
You know, to be honest, they love each other. So love was just not enough for that family.
At all. Very good point. Love wasn't enough. Yeah. And that's what one of the title of our video, How I Met a Yoruba Man, How I Married a Yoruba Man, Love is Not Just Enough. Exactly. So after all this, what did Summer do? This one wouldn't listen, that one wouldn't listen. At the end of the day, Summer went and she got married to the guy without her parents' consent.
So that's a good question. Is it really important that we get consent from our parents' approval? Is really one of the positive points that we should be looking at when we are involving ourselves in marriages or relationship. Parents' consent, parents' approval is really important when it comes to marriages.
Yes, exactly. So
it is,
yeah.
But what if you don't get it?
That's a big one.
And you love the person.
That's a big one, guys. If what Fola said now, if you don't get parents' consent in terms of you getting married, I want to hear about your comment. Leave it in the comment section down below. Yeah. If you're watching up to this point, leave it in the comment section. If your parents says you can't get married to somebody, let me hear your views regarding that. So Summer went ahead, got married to this guy. At the end of the day, got married to him, and then she got pregnant. She fell pregnant. And when she fell pregnant, her dad came all the way from Benin to see her. And when he still came to Benin to see them, she cried. That was a bit where she was crying. I felt really touched and so emotional. I said, this girl, she don't suffer. She don't really suffer.
So that girl went through a lot.
She went through a lot. So she had the baby for the guy. She was pregnant. The father came to see her. The father said, no, they are not married. She said, at that point, she started crying. She said, upon everything, even though she got married, the father still did. Even though she got pregnant, and she was heavily pregnant, the father still did not.
That's the guy's father.
Summer's dad.
So that tells you how disappointing they are, really, for her to go ahead and marry the guy, isn't it?
But I think it's both families. It's just that the girls, Summer's parents, the Igbo family, were not receptive of the boy as well. They don't want it initially.
So it's both sides.
And it's both sides. But they were able to come around, and accepted the girl for who she is and the guy. But her mother didn't. The Yoruba family, I was so disappointed.
Those ones I thought they didn't even want to see till the end of the marriage. They didn't even want to see Summer. So they were the cause of the breakup. They didn't want to see Summer. So that is a big. So what happened is that Summer's husband had a big. It was, I wouldn't call him weak. I wouldn't say that. I don't want to use weak for anyone. So, but he would, like Summer said, he was very soft. Yeah, very, very soft guy. So he had parental, a very strong parental influence. He's not a guy that could make decisions without, consulting his parents. So he had a real big, massive influence from his parents.
That's what they call mama's boy.
Yes, and that's what they call mama's boy. And this, to me, when it comes to marriage, is another big sign. If you have a guy who cannot stand up for himself, except to his family, except he consults his mommy or he consults his daddy, he needs to run, man.
Because that was a red flag at the beginning.
What they call 440. Do 440.
So you need to run. Find as much as possible. Take the next flight.
Do you know what got me? You know what got me? Each time the guy goes to his family and they say things, he comes back to tell her, and she will go, "What did you say?"
And then he will never tell.
He will come and say everything to her.
He never said anything.
No,
he never. And again, it was that quiet. Whatever they've done in their inner circles, whatever meeting they've done, he never came to Summer to tell. If someone said, "What did they say? What did the parents? What did they say?" It was a really soft.
It was like, I think he's scared.
But so I was asking myself, is it that he didn't manage it very well? Could he come back and say, "Oh yeah, if he comes back and doesn't tell her everything, every dirty little thing they said about her, maybe that will soften her heart a bit.
I don't know, right? Let me use the word, is the boy well to do for himself, or is he supported by his parents? Because things like that is where the parents are the ones supporting.
Yeah, I don't think
so
the parents
why would he not
because the
stand
guy
for
was
his
independent.
wife?
Yeah, that's it. The guy was independent. He was working. He had his job back in Nigeria. But let's just keep that aside, because at the end of the day, he had his parents had real massive control on his life. So guys, if you're watching this and you're learning from us, if you know that you're into a relationship and your in-laws or your in-law to be or your boyfriend or your partner parents has a massive control on the person you're dating, you have to run, honestly.
Or you have to make them see reason with you as well. Or make them stand up for you.
Yeah, you have to run, because the Summer's husband parents had so much influence up to the end of the marriage. They had so much influence, and still yet the marriage still broke down. So that's it.
I think it was the boy's fault for all.
And even with all the efforts Summer put in to make the marriage stand, it still didn't stand, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
it's just. So guys, going forward with the story, at the end of the day, after all the old wahala, all the old stress, all the old begge, what happened was that Summer, eventually the husband was able to arrange some money for her, borrowed some money, a few euros then. I think she was saying about 250 euros or maybe 25, I don't know. But that was back then. Summer should be 42 now. So it was really a long time. The guy saved so much money and sent her, and Summer said she came to Europe through the back door, isn't it? So maybe she's one of those people who have gone on the boats, to come
with
to
a child.
With a child, it wasn't easy. So I'm just dissecting this just to let you know what Summer went through just to be in the UK. So she stayed in the refugee camp as well.
Wow.
So many. There were times where she said she didn't have money. She had to save in order to get
a house.
The pregnant woman, so she won't eat well. She had to save. Her baby was even sick then when she had the baby. The baby was poorly. So at the end of the day, she was able to save enough. Like she said, she's very good in saving. She was able to save enough. And then she got a fine.
But do you know, let me just cut you there. That's a big lesson for me.
Yeah.
If a girl like that, in that situation, in a foreign land, no family, no friends, she's still able to save. Some of us are just indulging ourselves.
Yeah.
We have family, we have friends, and we still cannot save. Why? I learned from Summer. Summer, you've taught me a
In fact, I saw an Insta blog about a woman who was able to buy a house in Ikorodu from Ankara. The woman was fine Ankara. If you know Ankara is called bean cake.
Yeah.
So the woman was from any small thing she said. I mean, you may see all these people on the roadside. You see them, they are selling Ankara, frying Ankara.
Just be looking at them.
You just overlook them. All these our graduates who are saying there's no job. There are jobs you can create for yourself as well.
Exactly.
There are jobs you can create for yourself. So with Ankara, she was able to, build a house. So Summer was able to save. At the end of the day, she saved. She got a really, really nice, I think it was brand new property, a very nice house, because the way she emphasized the house is so gorgeous at the end of the day. So she started managing her life, At the end of the day, something happened. I think she said she needed to go and see her dad in Nigeria.
But that was a bold step.
Yeah.
Wow.
What would you, a refugee, go back to Nigeria?
Yeah. She really loved her dad so much. She really loved her dad. Really loved her dad. So just like me, I so much love my dad, even though he's late now. Rest in peace, dad. But I really loved him. So
do you see? Let me just talk more on that. The dad was upset when she married a Yoruba man, but the dad was able to forgive because there is a love.
I forgot that point.
He loved his daughter.
Yes.
So a family, a parent that cannot forgive their children of anything they think they've done wrong, I don't think you really love the daughter or your son. So the Yoruba family, did they really love their son?
No, they didn't. So exactly, I didn't make that point. So at the end of the day, she bent the rules in the house, and they were all able to follow her lead. They eventually started, even the Summer's mom, everybody was all now fell in love with the guy, they embraced him, which is good.
Well, it wasn't the same on the other side.
It wasn't the same on the other side, which is hard. It's still another thing you need to fight for. She did all she could, they never loved her. So at the end of the day, after doing all this, she said she was going to Nigeria to see her dad. And when she got to Nigeria, blah blah blah. She discovered that the husband was
cheating. Oh my God, that's
so guys. At the end of the day, we found out that Summer's husband
was cheating
on her. That's not
a
fair.
cheater
Will always be a cheat.
Exactly. So yeah, that's where we come back to the issue of baby mama. He's gone out. He's never been faithful. Went out with other women.
Is it women or what?
So all those wives was abroad. That's not
cheating.
fair, isn't it?
Well, at the end of the day, she forgave him. She said,
how do you even forgive a guy like that?
Yeah, she said she forgave him. Blah blah blah. She forgives him
think
because
she
was crying. She genuinely loved the guy. You understand?
No, from the way she's still talking, you will know that
she still loves the guy. And she's been through so much with the guy. So, you know, the guy cheated, and that's why I keep saying to everyone, if somebody cheats on you, he's always gonna do that again. A leopard doesn't change his skin. There's nothing you can do about it. It's part of his life. You'll move on, you just be there crying. So a cheat would always be a cheat. So that's one thing you need to. That's another red flag, and that's another lesson I learned in Summer's story.
Alright, so we're going to talk about the breakup. No, we've been talking about the love, the good. But to think that a loving couple, I really love this couple, from what she has said. She spoke well of him. She didn't speak bad of him. And I give her credit for that, because it takes a good woman to be able to speak well of a man that did so much against you. So, and they said the way they ended up, that the guy walked out of the marriage.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
After all she's gone through with him.
She said the guy that was never violent. The thing is that she kept doing everything. She was the one doing all the feeding, it wasn't working. He had a big, massive accountant job before, but he lost his job. So she was like the breadwinner of the family. She was doing everything for the family. It got so much for her. There was even a time, I think she was a care job she was going to apply for. She was 9 months heavily pregnant, and she still went for the training. She had to really, to tell you how far Summer, went through in order to have this, in order to make sure everything works.
But everything works. Do you know that is what, if we only stop to see the qualities of other tribes, other nations, and then tap into it and bring them together with yours, which you think is supreme than theirs, and work together. This girl is an Igbo girl. Summer. It's an Igbo girl that is very, very industrious. The things she did for that marriage, if only that family had given her a blessing, she would have taken that family far.
I think it shows that they didn't appreciate her effort. They just want her out of the way.
No, they
not somebody else.
The boy is the issue, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's like his mommy's boy, his daddy's boy. If he's a man of his own, he will stand for his family, for his wife, and just tell the parents, please stay away from her. This is my own life. I know you're my mom, you're my dad, but this is my life. I have to deal with it. And you have to accept who I love.
And stand his ground.
But it's the other way around, rather,
So guys, it's a mommy's boy. She did everything to
make the marriage
work. She worked really hard. She was fending for the family. She said the guy was never violent. And in fact, let me tell you guys what really broke that marriage was Summer went to the guy's town, and he said that she has to accept the girl and become. It's a normal thing.
You have to choose.
Like it has to be the first wife, second wife issue. And Summer said, man, you've got to stand for yourself and tell me.
But that's sorry, can I even call it? But this is so stupid. How can you tell someone to choose in between? Either you be a second wife or a first wife?
Very wrong.
Where on the earth in this 20th century or 19th century that somebody would ever think of, bringing such an idea? No, it's in the olden days, I'll say, yes, these people are still, primitive.
But they're asking her to be the first wife or the second wife, or they're asking her to be the second wife and accept
I don't know whether she was going to be the first wife, then he be the second. No, she be the first, she be the second, because she is the first baby mama, and she is going to be the second.
But the thing is that thing shouldn't even have come
because they were already. I think she was saying something about Muslim tradition, because I think whatever they've done regarding her having a baby, they've already done a Muslim engagement. I don't know, the engagement bits came out, and so definitely that makes her legal to be makes the other woman legal to be the first one. So someone was telling the husband, well, you have to make your decision and choose between me and that girl. It's either me or or her. So I think
you can't have both of us.
you can't have both of us. I can't, which is right. I will not accept a man doing that to me.
Yeah, come to think of it, let me be the devil's advocate here. If she says she loves the man that much, love covers everything, so to speak. So why didn't she, because of her love for the man, stick with the man?
No,
I wouldn't do that.
I would never
Yeah.
do
So
that.
it's wrong for us to expect the man to dish his parents' advice and marry her too. If she cannot dish her own feelings and just agree to be second wife.
I don't agree to that because it doesn't make sense really. Asking someone, okay, you be the first wife. If the man already married this person,
she is the second wife.
Yeah, but
that's where we still boil down to.
Yeah,
She
who is
never
legally married?
That's where we boil down to. She never looked the history of the baby mama. She shouldn't have even got herself into all this mess.
But no. Does it mean that this guy got married to the first?
He was
girl
forced to marry
legally, like through the Muslim or whatever way it is. Is it?
That's it.
Oh,
Because I'm not sure if they got married or maybe there's an engagement because the girl was already pregnant for him and the parents are pushing him to marry the girl and all that. Maybe they did something. I'm not sure.
But if they have done anything like traditional or whatever, as long as they've been declared husband and wife, traditionally, locally, in theory, whatever, exactly, she's legally married. Traditional marriage is a legal marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
So that means someone should have looked properly. Should
but
have
we're not
checked.
here.
But we're not here to judge anyone, though. We're not here to. But we're just saying we're just talking about what we feel and our opinion on what should be done right.
So basically, with this, the marriage broke up. The guy couldn't make it. He said, "Oh, it's you I want. It's you I want. I want you. I don't want to go."
Saying?
Yeah, he said, "It's you I want. I don't want to go back to that girl. I don't even like her that much." Blah blah blah. Someone said she's just had it. That the wahala has been too much. It's too complicated. Too many things has gone involved. So at the end of the day, she had to convert her kitchen. Her dining table, where she has a dining, to a bedroom. The husband was sleeping upstairs, she was sleeping downstairs. They were not doing anything in the house.
And what about the baby?
The children, I don't know whether they've gone to their bedroom. They have bedrooms now, just like the UK. So they were sleeping separately, living separate lives. Like they were a couple, but they were legal, as in they were separated. So, and she would be crying. She'll be crying so hard. She wasn't focusing on her job. She had to take extra job and do more hours, just to get it off her mind. So at the end of the day, she came back one day, and the husband had already packed his bag and gone.
So did he go back to Nigeria?
So the question is, did he go back to Nigeria? Yes, he's still in the UK, but I think different cities. She was saying something like she has to take the children. She's got 4 kids. Has to take the children.
So I think going back to the other woman.
The same man, 4 kids.
Yeah, she's got 4 kids with the same man. That taking them all the way to where he stays. I think it's quite a distance. So she's asked the man to come. She never stopped any relationship, any children, parent-to-child relationship with the man. So, but she encouraged the children. The children are always happy to see the husband. But at the end of the day, the relationship broke down and they're now separated. It's been a long time.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that man actually loved the girl?
Well, let me answer that question. No.
But I want to think so.
I would say
no.
I would say he did. He did.
Initially,
I would say he did, but he was a very soft person.
No, I would say he didn't. He just liked her. She was convenient to
because she was beautiful, and maybe he was carried away by her beauty, and she was carried away by his handsomeness as well. I think that's the thing that played in here, really. That's what I think. Because if there is genuine love, I don't think there will be any issue, no matter the pressure from both sides. They would have, stayed together till the end.
And then he would have stood his grounds with his parents. That's where I just didn't get it. Because he maybe found the girl very convenient. She's young. This guy is much older than her. She was kind of a young girl. She inexperienced. So he saw her that she's very enterprising and she's very good to be a wife material. She could take a lot from him because she loves him. I think he took advantage of her. Yeah. Sorry, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. So guys, thank you very much. So basically, I've learned quite a lot with Summer Apple's. Sorry. Okay. So I've learned quite a lot with Summer Apple's story when it comes to choosing your life partner. Having the looks, not parental consent is very important. you know, marrying somebody who is
your tribe.
Your tribe. What do you mean?
Yeah, marry somebody that you no, really marry sometimes marry somebody that you speak the same language on both sides is also.
What do you think if that girl was Yoruba or if the guy was Igbo and the guy was still like that in nature, weak and all that, or soft and all that, and has eyes everywhere, baby mama and the other woman he had an affair with, do you think they would still have been able to resolve it because they're from the same village?
Yes.
I think no, would they force him? If he's tall, if his eyes are everywhere, his eyes are everywhere, everybody can stop him.
Exactly.
But I think it would have been better than, you know, him. But I'm not against Igbo marry Yoruba, Yoruba marry Igbo. It's a fantastic thing. I've got a lady from my town that is married to a Yoruba guy, and they're living happily today. And she's in London. She's got 3 kids, and one of the daughters, she's a barrister now in the UK. So I don't think intercultural marriage is really a problem for me. But I think it's the individual. Really, you need to look at one. Even if you're going to marry a Yoruba man, you need to look at the background of the person, the kind of religion he is. It might be Muslim or a Christian, it doesn't matter. But you need to look at what the kind of attitude or the kind of character the parents have got towards you. That's the first step for you to take your 440, what they call 440, take the next flight away from that place.
Exactly. So, yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been nice. Thank you so much for gracing my channel today. I feel really, you know, excited to have you girls come round me to share your opinions about Summer Aku's, you know, Summer Aku's marital life and how her marriage broke down. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, why not give it a thumbs up? Please, I'm begging you, subscribe. And again, please do not forget to subscribe to these girls. They just started, man. Yes, you need to support their ministry. Support the ministry.
Show some love. Show some love.
Yes, exactly. They need the love. They need to grow the numbers. They need to grow their time. Please show them love. Show them love. Their link is just down below. They're going to be giving you juicy, fantastic, because it's going to be cooking. She's going to be telling you so many things.
Stories.
Media 206 is going to be telling you about
1206.
Yeah, Media 1206 will be telling you so much about our channel. Please subscribe to them. Please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave me a comment down below.
Yes.
Until next time, we love you.
See you.
From Angie.
Ciao.
Love you.